Hi, my name is Andrew Abrams, and I'm the artistic director of Capital City Theater and the conductor of our Between the Acts concert happening at the end of February. Between the Acts is a concert of classical works written by Broadway's greatest composers. If you're just joining us, we are featuring some of the music that's going to be on that concert. And today we are going to talk about everyone's favorite, Star Wars. So I think that's how they said it in the 1976 77 promo. It was like Star Wars. Anyway, how does Star Wars work when we're talking about classical pieces by Broadway's greatest composers? Because nobody thinks John Williams, one of Broadway's greatest composers. Well, he actually wrote a musical called Thomas and the King in 1975. It is not very well known, and it only ever made it to the West End. It did not make it to Broadway, but he did write a musical, which makes him appropriate for our concert and an excuse to do Star Wars. Now, we are doing the first movement of the Star Wars suite. What that basically is the big opening title, and then it takes you up to about where the opening of the ships firing at each other, and then it jumps to the closing title. So you get all the best bits of the theme and Leia's theme and the Rebel theme and all of that stuff. So that's what the first movement of the Star Wars suite is. What people don't realize is that John Williams, this piece he wrote, the Star Wars, was the first of kind of an era, because we didn't really have these epic space adventure movie scores like he started us down that whole path with E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, most of them written by him. But Pirates of the Caribbean, like we sort of went through a whole era of big space operas and adventure. It was such a great time. But it's really all started here. And even though John Williams had obviously written Jaws and he had written some other things, this was the first of its kind. So when he was asked to write it, he thought, what are my influences going to be? And he started out thinking, I'm going to use as a placeholder Holst's The Planets, Gustav Holst's The Planets, which, if you go back and listen to it, you would think this sounds like a space movie score, because it really did. So that was probably one of his biggest influences. One of the things that he wanted to do was make leitmotifs out of the various characters in the film. Much like what Wagner did in the Ring Cycle and things like that. So he wanted to create a specific theme for each character. So of course, the theme that a lot of us know besides the Star Wars theme is Leia's theme, which goes like this. So that's one of the leitmotifs. Now you have many others. You have Yoda's theme, you have the Rebel theme. One of the others that, of course, is one of the most famous. Now, we aren't doing this part, but you all know it, is the Imperial March. Now, the Imperial March, he kind of used as his jumping off point Mars from Holst's The Planets. So you might be familiar with this theme. It's kind of famous in the classical world, but it's this... the jumping off point for the Imperial March and how he kind of got that. And so those were some of his influences. But one of the things that's really fascinating is he also looked back at the great sort of epic, sweepy classical scores of the golden age of Hollywood, which was in the 30s and the 40s. And one of those composers was one of my favorites, named Erich Wolfgang Korngold. And Korngold actually was a full tilt classical composer. He wrote operas and symphonies, and he lived over in Germany and came over to America to escape World War II and found himself in Hollywood and writing scores, because of course talkies and all of that were just starting to really take off, and was a prominent composer in Hollywood for a long time. Well, one of the pieces that he wrote, one of the movies that he wrote, was this film called The King's Row Suite. It was from 1942. And if you listen to this, you might get a sense of where he got an idea. And this is just a little bit of the theme. It goes like this. And let's listen to that again. Slower. So if you take that theme by itself. Add a couple notes to that and you get the Star Wars theme. Now, this has been talked about a lot, and John Williams, I don't know that he has confirmed this, but it's hard to not hear it. So in short, we have leitmotifs, we have Holst the Planets, and we have sweepy Hollywood of the 30s and 40s. And John Williams took all those things and he made the Star Wars movies that we know and love. So join us on February 28th and March 1st at the Middleton Performing Arts Center for Between the Acts. Star Wars is the first thing on the program to get us going and get everybody excited. You can get tickets on our website at capitalcitytheater.org, and we hope to see you there.